Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This is your special day. Hope you guys go out and enjoy it. Hopefully somebody is loving up on you for being the great father that you are. And I'm just happy that we get to celebrate you all, because I feel like mothers is very important, but fathers is just as important. And sometimes when that holiday come around, they don't get celebrated as much as mothers, but I feel like both parents are just equally as important as the next. And what a mother can do for their child, a father can't, and what a father can do for their child, a mother can't. So I think it's so important to have both your parents in your life, and don't discredit a good man, don't discredit a good father, or someone who actually genuinely wants to be in his child's life. So today we celebrate you all. Today, I don't have a significant other, but I do have a dad. So this video is for him, being the great father that he's been to me from when I was younger until now. I realized that I need my dad. Even now, I'm 32 years old and I need him probably more than I needed him back then when I was a little bit younger, because as I get older and life is happening and I started getting certain relationships, you need that father figure to kind of guide you and lead you and make sure that you're, making the right decisions for your life in regards to men. And so having that example and my dad has definitely helped me. And I can remember when we were younger, he would call me little one, and I was pretty much attached at the hip to him. I was daddy's little girl. I wanted to always be around him, always wanted to be with him because he was my role model, he was my superhero, he was my everything. And of course he spoiled me, of course, because I was the only girl, the youngest girl anyway. But at the same time, being able to completely look at your dad and just admire him and just see him as a superhero and all his imperfections. You still see him as this perfect gentleman, this perfect human being that you wish and hope that, when you grow up, you can choose a man sometime, closely as he was to you. So, growing up, that was me. He said he would do something, I just knew he would do it. And then it came to a point where the breakdown in the relationship and I guess the dynamic of our family shifted, because I don't remember a lot of my childhood like that, but certain situations I do remember. And I remember, I think he wasn't living in the house with us at the time. Maybe my mom and my dad separated at this point, and he was coming to spend time with me, and he would say like, hey, I'm coming to get you, or hey, do you want this McDonald's or something to eat? And so I just waited around for him to show up, and it was time after time after time after time where these promises and these things that I thought my dad would come through for me, he didn't. And then but at the end of the day, being a daddy's girl, I gave him the benefit of the doubt time after time where he didn't come through and I wanted him to come through. And his promises, I believe that, okay, maybe this time he'll actually show up. Maybe this time he'll actually be true to his word. And so after time and time and time and time again, thinking that he'll show up, thinking that he'll come through, I started to realize it wasn't going to happen. I had to live with the reality that my dad, he might have wanted to come through, he might have wanted to keep his promises, but other things and other situations was more important at the time, or at least that I thought it was more important than me. And so um, I would guess like as I got older, maybe getting to teenage years, going off to junior high and high school, I didn't really have my dad. I wasn't close to him. And I remember praying because I knew he was out there in the streets and just doing whatever he wanted to do. I prayed that, God will save him again, and that we all will be a family again, and that we will get closer again, and he'll be back in my life. And I remember praying that like so many nights, praying that, everything will get back to normal. But for a long period of time, I didn't have my dad, and I kind of got in relationships and dealt with certain guys just to fill that void, and I made the wrong choices, and I just wanted that male figure in my life because I didn't have my dad. And of course, when you don't have the right example, you try to do it yourself, and sometimes trying to do it yourself, you realize you're not making the smartest or the best decisions. And so, having that void, yes, I did have him at a young age, but this was the pivotal moment where I needed him most. I'm going into my adulthood, I'm getting older, I'm starting to develop more, I'm starting to be interested in guys, inquisitive about, the opposite sex. And here I am trying to figure out how to navigate these feelings and these emotions by myself, and not have that male guidance to be like, you deserve more. Your value is not what's in between your legs, but what's in between your ears, your mind. That's what's more valuable. And so I had to learn that the hard way. And though I had God, and some people look at God as like a father figure, I guess for me it was hard to see God as that father figure when I didn't even have my actual father here, knowing that he was here but not present. So it was hard for me to look at God like God the Father and, forget my dad, whatever he's doing, God got me. And as much as people say that, I think in reality, people do want their physical fathers to be present, especially if they're alive. I think people want to have their physical fathers in their life. Yes, we have God, and he can cover us, and he can provide us with this assurance that, regardless of what the situation was between their mom and their dad, you still matter, you still mean something, you're still important, and all this. And though that is true, having a physical person here to be able to guide you and show you, especially when they're not bound, by death or jail or anything, or any capabilities that would hold them or stop them from being able to be in your life. So I wouldn't say I resented him. I think the absence of him wanted him more, wanting his presence more. I know sometimes when a person is not present in their life, they begin to resent them. But for me, it was the opposite. I prayed, I said, God, I want this family to get closer. God, I want my dad to be saved, get him out the streets, change his life around. And yeah, God does answer prayer. And so a couple of years ago, I don't know how it happened, but we started getting back in each other's life and building a bond, building a bond that I wish could have been consistent, but it wasn't. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for him now. He shows up for me, he comes through, he's a man of his word. I remember when he was so hard on money, and I'm just like, yeah, I respect your hustle, I understand where you came from and your mentality, but money is not that serious. And I remember he would like what he would do for me, he will basically like, or anybody, you know, he wanted them to pay him back. If they owed him, he wanted them to pay him back. And it was just like, dang, you're supposed to be my dad. You're supposed to be doing this just because you're my dad, not because you want something in return. And so, you know, I prayed about that, and he changed his life. Like when I say he did a 180, everything that he was in the past, he's completely opposite. He's a man of God. He loves God with all his heart. He's all about family now. Like I said, he comes through for me. I remember I didn't have furniture in my apartment, and I was just like, whatever, you know, don't nobody really come here. So, but I told him, you know, I expressed to him like I need some furniture. I wasn't that, you know, gun ho about it because I went so long without it. It was kind of like whatever. I get it, I don't. But I remember him saying, when your birthday come, I'm going to buy you your first furniture set. And so, you know, me thinking about back in the day how he make all these promises and didn't keep them, I kind of didn't get too excited. I was just like, okay, well, just show me. You know, I'm the type of show me person. It's not about what you say. Show me. If this what you want to do, show me. If this what you saying out your mouth and this how you feel, show me. And so I remember, you know, the pandemic happened and everything like that, and my birthday came around, and I kind of just reminded him, and I remember he was just like, when you're ready, I'm ready. And so later on, we end up going to get the furniture. He paid for everything. I remember my bed, something had happened to my bed. I called him up immediately. I was like, Dad, something happened to my bed. He came over here ASAP. Anything with my car, you know, he just looks out for me and my family. He done a lot of stuff with my mom, and you know, just seeing them get closer, and he just changed so much, and I'm just happy. You know, we cook dinners together, we spend time with each other. It's just a whole, like I said, 180. And so this Father's Day means, I think, more to me than any other Father's Day, because the times when we did, you know, go out and spend time, it was kind of more of a show thing. It was like, hey, it's Father's Day, something to do, let's go out. But this time I feel like the effort and the consistency was put in, so it makes me appreciate him more now than ever. And so I said that story to kind of give you a glimpse of, if you're a child and you might have experienced something similar with your parent, your father in particular, don't give up. You know, just pray about it, because if it's something that, you know, family is something that God created. And I believe that for, especially in a Black family, if you break the man down, you're essentially breaking down the family. And so that's what the enemy wants, you know, a breakdown in the family. But when you have that strong male figure who's completely submitted to God, who wants to do right by himself, his family, and everything and everyone in it, you know, then everything that trickles down from him will prosper. Everything that you want to happen and manifest, it will happen. Just pray about it. Don't be discouraged. You know, pray for your dad. If y'all had a falling out, pray for him. You know, pray for him to see that you are his child and you want him to be a part of your life. And sometimes it takes for us to reach out to our parents, because let's be honest, men, they can hold grudges, they can, you know, be completely distant, be absent, and they feel like that's a way to protect themselves. So sometimes we have to, as the child, reach out and kind of do our part. And if we did our part and we initiated, try to initiate some conversation, try to initiate some type of interaction with one another, and hopefully, that gets reciprocated. But if you did your part and you don't have no resentment in your heart, you don't have no anger in your heart towards your parent, your father, then you did the best that you can do, and you can only wish and pray to God that they'll come around eventually. So once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. You're killing it. If you're there for your child, I'm not saying just giving them what they want. I'm saying like speaking life into them, showing up, for their events that they have at school, for their sports. If they're in sports, you're there. You're a parent. And I hate when Father's Day come around and they say Happy Father's Day to a mom, and it's like, no father, no mother is a father. They can't be, even if they try to be everything that child needs, they will never take the place of a father. So if a father is present and he's doing the best that he can, and he is in his child's life, regardless what the situation is with him and the mom, then I think that is something to celebrate. That is something to be appreciative of, because that child is getting their identity. That child is getting their, what type of man or woman that they will become, or if they're a woman, what type of guys that they will choose as they get older. That male figure is their example. That's the first man in their life as their example. So to the moms out there, don't take away that right, for that father to be in his child's life. Don't take away that right, because as great as a mom that you are, you can never be a man, and you can never affirm a child the way his or her father can. So once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Hope you guys go out and enjoy. You deserve it. We love you, and I will talk to you guys again on the next time on Telly Talks. Peace.